There's a lot of talk in the Stoic internet community about how we should act and what habits we should adopt to improve and lead a virtuous life, but hardly anyone discusses the habits we already have that are entirely negative for our lives. Epictetus said the following: "There are two vices much more dark and serious than the rest, lack of persistence and lack of self-control." Persist and resist. Epictetus knew that the key to living correctly is persistence and resistance. Persistence involves not ceasing to make an effort and acting correctly even when we don't feel like it. It means developing new ways of acting that make us better. Creating good habits isn't easy, so we must be persistent. The other key is resistance. Resisting involves avoiding temptations and bad habits that destroy us. We must master our minds to avoid anything that doesn't contribute positively. In this channel, there are several videos where I talk about good Stoic habits, but I haven't yet discussed the things we should avoid, habits and customs from our daily lives that we must resist. Now is the perfect time to start eliminating from your life anything that makes you worse. Avoid negative emotions that distract you or hinder you from reaching your goals. In this video, I'm going to talk about 9 habits that we all have in our daily lives and that we must avoid if we want to live fully and happily. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video, as it helps spread this philosophy to more people. If you don't want to miss any videos, subscribe and hit the bell icon. 1. Stop wasting your time. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Reflect on the duration of life. Many of us merely exist rather than truly live. We waste our time on things that don't bring us anything, procrastinating what needs to be done when we feel lazy. Act as if you won't live forever. Time is the most valuable thing we have. Nothing guarantees you'll be alive tomorrow or in a position to do what you want. Let Marco Aurelio's words guide you: you could stop living right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Let this reflection on time prevent you from wasting it and value it as it deserves. The first step to living a good life is to take our time seriously. 2. Stop emotionally clinging to things. The Stoics believe that we have to learn to let go, not just physically but also emotionally. If you've made a mistake in your life, don't torture yourself over it. Learn from it so you won't repeat it. Guilt and regret don't help. Feeling these emotions is not wrong, they help us understand when we've acted wrongly. But once we've recognized our mistake and learned from the situation to avoid making the same error again, we shouldn't let these emotions continue to torment us. We all make mistakes, don't excessively suffer from them, always seek ways to grow from them. 3. Stop postponing things. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations the following: "You could do good today, yet you choose to do it tomorrow." Or in Seneca's words, "All fools have in common that they always delay the beginning." We prefer to say, "I'll do it tomorrow," instead of saying, "I'll never do it." Often, when we postpone something, it's as if we're never going to do it. If you have something to do it now. What's the point of postponing something you have to do, even if you feel lazy? It's always better to do what you must now for several reasons. Firstly, as I've mentioned, our time is limited, and secondly, rest is enjoyed more when you've fulfilled your obligations. When you postpone something out of laziness, you feel guilty and know you should be doing something instead of resting. You don't enjoy rest in the same way because deep down, you know you don't deserve it. The worst part is that sooner or later, you'll have to fulfill that obligation, so you've gained absolutely nothing by postponing it. There are few sensations that surpass the satisfaction of a job well done, and doing it well implies doing it at the right time, not later. 4. Stop seeking benefit or recognition in everything you do. If you've done something well, helped someone, or succeeded at something, stop seeking approval or recognition from others. Thinking that others must thank you for what you do for them or congratulate you on your achievements will only bring you suffering. You don't control what others think, you don't control whether they appreciate or reject what you do. You only control your actions. The purpose of an action should be the action itself, not recognition. If you do something, do it because it makes you happy or because you believe it's the right thing to do. Recognition and congratulations from others usually come after a job well done. But if no one acknowledges your effort and work, it's okay. You didn't do it for that, you did it because it was the right thing to do. Understand that thinking this way will make you feel satisfied with yourself regardless of what others think. Focus on giving your best. 5. Stop looking the other way. In Stoicism, one of the most important virtues is justice. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Cicero spoke extensively in their works about this virtue. Being just means acting with others in the right way, doing what we should. In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius talks about the possibility of committing injustices when we do nothing. When an injustice is happening, doing nothing and letting it pass makes us accomplices. Being just involves preventing injustices around us, even if they are not caused by us. Stoics avoid unnecessary conflicts, believing that we should live in harmony with others. However, there are situations where a Stoic cannot look the other way. This is when an unnecessary conflict becomes a necessary one, and that moment happens when an injustice is being committed against oneself or others. A Stoic must defend themselves without forgetting the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. While others committing injustices are beyond our control, our actions to prevent them are under our control, making us responsible for acting. Avoiding that responsibility makes us accomplices to injustice, even if it wasn't caused by us. 6. Don't be afraid of change. Marcus Aurelius wrote the following in his Meditations: "The fate of all is to change, transform, perish, so that everything new may arise." Everything in life is subject to change, both the good and the bad. Trying to remain the same not only keeps you focused on something you can't control but also prevents you from discovering the multitude of opportunities that exist and can emerge in your life. Don't fear these changes, as they are inevitable and often beneficial. Instead of focusing on avoiding change, concentrate on adapting to it and embracing the positive aspects of what's new in your life. Thanks to change, we can become better, evolve. This doesn't mean we should reject the old or what we have now in pursuit of changes in our lives. If we are content with what we have, it simply means we shouldn't fear it, as we have the capacity to adapt to whatever life presents. 7. Stop being a slave. Seneca wrote the following: "He is a slave, show me one who is not." A person is a slave to lust, another to greed, a third to ambition, and all are slaves to hope. All are slaves to fear. There is no more shameful servitude than the one we assume voluntarily. Seneca was right in saying that we are all slaves to something, often without even realizing it. We've forgotten that to be truly free, we must have our minds completely under our control, enabling us to resist the temptations that arise in our lives. The best tool to achieve freedom and master our minds is discipline. It may be tougher for some than others, but everyone must daily remind themselves who is in charge, us or our impulses. In the words of Epictetus, no man is free who is not master of himself. 8. Stop settling for mediocrity, seek excellence. Every time you do something in your life, ask yourself, have I given my best? If you look back at your life, you'll realize that in many situations, you didn't give your best. The question is, why are you doing something that doesn't deserve your best effort? And if it does, why didn't you give it? Ask yourself this with everything you do and always strive to do it to the best of your ability. We don't control whether we succeed or fail, whether we win or lose, or whether we receive recognition for what we do. But it is under our control to make the maximum effort and give our best in what we do. Everything else that is beyond our control shouldn't matter. Why settle for doing something mediocre when you have the ability to do something extraordinary? 9. Don't let anxiety dominate you. In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote the following: "Today, I escaped anxiety." Or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. External events are not the cause of anxiety, you are the only one responsible, as that feeling arises within you due to your thoughts about future problems. Anxiety doesn't help you or make you better, it doesn't even help you solve the problem. It's simply a thought that tortures you, thinking about what may or may not happen in the future. Realize that, no matter what happens in the future, despite the uncertainty in your life, you've probably overcome worse situations before. Understand that you have tools to combat anything bad that might come in the future. Differentiate between things you can't control and things that are under your control. Think about the worst that can happen. In many cases, you'll realize the situation is less severe than you thought. Do you have any habits in your life that you want to eliminate? I await your response in the comments. I hope this video helps you break habits we all have in our daily lives that don't serve us. Eliminating these habits and incorporating new ones into your life, as I explain on this channel, is the path to a peaceful, happy, and purposeful Stoic life, which I'm sure you'll appreciate. Until next time.